Okay, I'm sharing the screen. I'm not downloading the image, otherwise it will take too long. But I hope this is visible. Just 1 minute. Huh. Okay, we have completed first 3 points. Okay, now let us take the next one, that is point number 4. Okay, who is going to read this? Point number D.
I can read. Point number D.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Real or perceived unfairness in the performance appraisal process can lead to an increase in unethical behavior, as employees rationalize their actions by not having been fairly treated by their supervisor.
Okay, see students, if your employees experience that, the performance management mechanism is not up to the mark, there are loopholes, the manager is biased, okay, automatically he will stop believing in that, right? And once he start feeling that, this entire system is not treating employees fairly, his behavior is going to become rationalized, okay? He will stop giving inputs because then he knows, okay, no matter how good he performs, okay, the system is lacking. The system is not treating fairly. I tell you this same experience most of the times we have when we were in the school or when we were in the college. Okay? आप answers लिखते हो, and when you feel that your teacher is not reading all the lines, your teacher is not understanding the way you have written the answer, and the teacher is giving same marks to everyone, automatically you feel a bit discouraged, okay, that you had a unique style of writing the answer, you are writing the answer correctly, you are mentioning, you are to the point, yet again, okay, you feel when the entire class is given the same marks, okay, same marks is given to all of them, you feel that this is not fair, okay, this is not a correct way of evaluation, automatically you start believing that the system is अब मैंने मेरे स्कूल में तो बहुत ऐसा सुना था कि यार सबको ही सेम मार्क्स मिल जाए क्या है फिर तो let us put down anything. In that case, what happens is when you are good at the initial stage, okay, and when you feel the system is not up to the mark, your behavior becomes rationalized. Okay? You feel that all right, when if it is same for everyone, why to give that much of inputs and hard work? Similarly, employees also, if they feel that the system is not treating fairly to everyone, it is biased, it is having favoritism, it is having nepotism, why do I continue giving that kind of hard work and inputs? I rather prioritize my personal life. Okay? I in fact give preference to my work life balance. मैं काम के time पे सिर्फ काम करूंगी. Once that is done, I'll not. Once I'm home back, I'll not revert to the mails. So this employees will start behaving in this manner. Okay. So it's very important that your performance appraisal process should be perceived by your employees as a correct way. Okay. Should be perceived by the employees as it is following an ethical standard. Okay. Let us see point number E. Okay, Arun. I think he left. Priscilla, आप read करेंगे?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ हाँ.
Point number E. Often subjective judgments are not acknowledged in performance appraisal conversations and unconscious biases are operating.
Okay. So see, students, subjective judgments means, as I said, it is different for you and different for me. Okay. Automatically, guys, we feel element of biasness is there. even if it is not there in the first place. Okay, simple example. Your parents are not biased, but you feel they are biased. ऐसा होता है कभी कभी. You feel that your a sibling is given more preference over you. Okay, and you keep that belief for a long time, even if it is not true at the first place. Employees के साथ में भी ऐसे ही होता है. एक बार उनको लगेगा ना कि managers bias है, they keep that experience with them for a intact for a long term. उनको हमेशा ऐसा ही फील होगा कि managers biased है. And that is true to some extent. Okay, because something like what we start believing, we do not disbelieve it in the next minute. Okay, that is there with us for some time. अगर आप भी अपने फ्रेंड्स में अपने फ्रेंड्स को कुछ सीक्रेट शेयर किया था और उसने भी दूसरों को बता दिया, फिर आप नेक्स्ट टाइम वो भले आपका सीक्रेट किसी को नहीं बताने वाला है, बट आप उस पर वो ट्रस्ट नहीं कर पाओगे. यू हैड दैट एक्सपीरियंस, राइट? हो सकता है उसने किसी और को गलती से बात में बताया था. Okay, his intention was not to leak your secret. Okay, but that just happened. Okay, in that circumstances, students, okay, you are not going to believe him the next time. Similarly, it happens with managers also. एक बार आपको लग रहा है ना कि मैनेजर शायद बायस है, एथिकल स्टैंडर्ड्स नहीं फॉलो कर रहा है, वो बिलीफ आप लंबे समय तक रखोगे. Whether it is true or not is secondary. उसने फर्स्ट टाइम जब इवेलुएट किया था मैनेजर ने, हो सकता है उसने गलती से आपके कॉलीग को अच्छा मार्क्स दिया था. ओके, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम वो शायद फेयरली सबको ट्रीट करना चाह रहा है, लेकिन आपके दिल में आ गया वो कि ही इज बायस्ड. और दैट इज गोइंग टू स्टिक विथ यू फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म अनकॉन्शियसली. यानी कि आप का दिमाग के पीछे चल ही रहा है कि अरे हम कितना भी अच्छा करे, ये तो ऐसे ही बायस्ड ही इवेलुएट करने वाला है, which may not be true. हो सकता है फर्स्ट टाइम उसने वो मिस्टेकली इवेलुएट किया था, है ना? So that remains in our mind. Okay, point number F.
Point number F, ignoring ethics when measuring overall performance not only risks serious ethical violations, it can lead to a toxic internal culture with low employee engagement.
Yeah, because every employee would want to be associated with a company having strong morals and strong ethical culture. Okay, अगर वो मैनेजमेंट उसको वायलेट कर रहा है, उसको नहीं फॉलो कर रहा है, okay, it is going to create a very negative atmosphere or environment within the company, at least to those people for whom their moral standards are high. जिनको ये है ना कि they want to work with ethics, but then when the company's belief is not matching, okay, when you feel that your organization's core cultures are just for the name's sake, they are not actually followed, okay, automatically it creates a very toxic internal culture, which surely is not going to keep your employees intact on productive level. Okay, because now they know that the company is not following ethical standards. Okay, so I think very important that if management is framing something on its core cultures or on its values or on its philosophy, they should follow it. Not following it or ignoring it will create an impression in the mind of the employees that the company is not having any ethical standards. लॉन्ग रन में ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एग्जिस्टेंस ही बहुत क्वेश्चनेबल है, बिकॉज those companies who are not following ethical standards, okay, are going to any which ways vanish. Everything is so transparent. Yesterday I said we live in a social revolution. Okay, you cannot hide behind the cabin, okay, and try to work with poor ethics standard. No, if your performance is bad, it will be revealed. If the organization is not having ethical standards, all the stakeholders will realize it, if not sooner, definitely later on. Okay, the stakeholders will understand what is your conduct, okay, and how much you have, what's your moral standards. Bank bolo, finances bolo, investors bolo, shareholders bolo, government bolo, employees bolo, everybody would want to associate with a company which is having high ethical standards. A company which is not having high ethical standards will slowly lose the support from their stakeholders. सारे stakeholders धीरे धीरे पीछे हट जाएंगे. उनको पता है अगर ये कंपनी अनएथिकल तरीके से काम कर रही है, एनी टाइम आई कैन ऑल्सो बी अ विक्टिम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल शेयर होल्डर्स, उनको अभी तो वो सोच रहे होंगे ओके नाउ आई एम गेटिंग गुड रिटर्न्स, बट अगर कंपनी अनएथिकल है तो कल शायद मेरे को रिटर्न्स भी ना दे, बेटर आई विड्रॉ माई शेयर्स. ओके, बैंक भी ऐसा ही है कि बैंक ने भी रियलाइज किया ना कि आप अनएथिकल तरीके से काम कर रहे हो और मैं आपको फाइनेंस कर रहा हूँ. Okay, what if tomorrow media is going to catch this? What if it comes on the public forum? तब तो मेरा भी नाम खराब होगा ना. I as a bank, I'm helping you, I'm financing you to work in an ethical manner. Okay, बैंक का भी image होता है. Before funding, they have to analyze the project not only in terms of viability or profitability. Project which is to be done in high moral standards. Okay, which is ethical. Project which is correct, not affecting environment, not affecting customers, not affecting government. बैंक को भी ना students बहुत लंबा procedure होता है before funding the organizations. Okay, they have to follow such a lengthy procedure. It's not just merely about documents. No, it's not like that. A bank has to take the help of expertise to analyze the project viability. अगर उसमें ethical standards नहीं है, बैंक को पता है आगे जाके बैंक भी प्रॉब्लम में आ सकती है, right? So I think organization should pay more attention to following ethical standards. The only way, in fact, the only way to survive in the competition or to survive in the market, you have to follow ethics. When you plan to do your master's, students, in MCOM part 1, we have a separate subject itself which is based on ethics. ये ethics करके एक subject ही है पूरा, जहाँ पे आप सीखते हो that right from the policy making to implementation to its evaluation, everything, how ethics is important and why it is important. Moving on to the last one. Okay, point number G.
G. The effect on self-esteem is the critical issue. A blow to the self-worth of an individual can be damaging to that person as well as to the overall morale of the organization. When low ethics managers use retribution to coerce behavior, employees may respond out of fear.
Okay, now let us try to understand what it is written here. The effect of self-esteem is the critical issue. I think general life also, I have been always telling you that please love yourself and respect yourself more than anyone else. Okay, there might be so many people out there who are going to doubt your or who are going to second guess your existence and your capabilities. But students, they are not important. Okay, any which ways people are going to judge you, even if you're good, even if you're bad, right? So self-esteem is something which is you always should have a very positive self-esteem. Okay, keep yourself at the top. Okay, similarly in organizations also, employees self-esteem is a topic I think which should be discussed upon. Okay, every employee would want to have and rather should have a good self-esteem in them. Okay, for example, Smruti, Anisha, बहुत अच्छा perform कर रहे हैं. Yet again, I am consistently not giving them good grades. Don't you think their self-esteem will be affected? कहीं ना कहीं वो लोग अपने आप उनके खुद के कैपेबिलिटीज को सेकंड गेस करेंगे ना कि अरे यार वेयर आर वी गोइंग रॉन्ग. इतना 100% देने के बाद में भी what is it that the manager is not giving me the good grades? Don't you think, guys, their self-esteem will be affected? At least a yes or no from your side will help me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
You know?
ma'am.
Right. So I think your self-worth, I think this is again something very important, is going to get affected. It is going to damage your morale, and it is going to definitely have a negative effect. An employee whose self-esteem is affected, okay, whose morale is affected, who is doubting his self-worth, I don't think so he's productive for my company. And who made him this? Okay, his who made him have poor self-esteem, or who made him have poor self-worth or low morale, is you. Okay, your system. You did not had correct method of evaluation. Okay, you made that employee very negative. He wasn't. He was a very talented person. Okay, when managers with low ethics. Okay, the last statement here it is written. The managers who are with poor ethics or with low ethics, when they are running the organization, people might respond to him out of fear. Okay. Yesterday I said you that the business world is divided into industrial revolution. Then we had IT and brands coming into picture, and now social revolution. In the first case, the boss was is assumed that the boss is always right. Why? Lack of opportunities, need of the job. Okay, हमें job चाहिए, need है. Okay, and I think post this pandemic कहीं ना कहीं ये part भी रहेगा, this essence of the boss is right, compromising situation, because I'm not having opportunities elsewhere, I have to work here. Okay, so this is going to be there somewhere. So अगर ऐसे situation में, if the managers are having very poor ethics, okay, employees might respond to him out of fear. Okay, but there is no loyalty in them. Okay, already मैंने उनका self esteem खराब कर दिया है consistently उनको poor grades देकर. Now they might be just working to give the minimum inputs that they can for the company to survive. Okay, and it's not the question about survival, it's the question about the success. And those employees who are with low morale or poor morale are just going to give the minimum to the company. That's not enough. And I think this lack of ethics in the work conduct is eventually going to make the company suffer for a long term, not for a short term, for a long term. Ethics is something which is very important. Every organization should start thinking about it, and should have regular meetings with your people, with your managers. Okay, should have some mechanism that is constantly monitoring if people are working with ethics or not. Okay, so कुछ तो कोई एक mechanism होना चाहिए which is constantly going to monitor this. Okay, so that people feel that they have to work in ethics. There is no other option, but then they have to work with ethics. I hope there is no difficulty in the introduction part. What we have just completed now is a few points about why ethics is important, and how. Just a moment. ये बहुत ये हो गया ना, enlarge हो गया. Yeah. So we have just seen a few ethical issues, okay, that might arise or that might be there in your performance management system, and you need to work on it. We have the next answer. 1 minute. We have this next answer, which is code of ethics. Okay, I think we can take first point and then I stop for the day. Okay, Priscilla, आप read करेंगे code of ethics. I hope it is visible. Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Code of ethics for performance management. A list of desirable ethical behavior by an employee is called as code of ethics. Some of the prominent codes of ethics are as given below.
Because just now we saw, just now we saw the ethical issues in performance management. So we have another answer, which is, saying code of ethics. That means what should be followed. Okay, what is desired is assumed to be what is supposed to be followed. Okay, so क्या follow करना चाहिए employees को, so that they ensure that they are working in ethical standards. We begin with point number 1, that is.
Point number 1, fair, safe, and ethical environment. An ethical environment relies upon individuals having responsibility for their own professional behavior. The organization has a responsibility to provide a safe, encouraging, and supportive work environment that recognizes and values staff diversity, abilities, and contributions. All employees are entitled to be treated with respect and work in an environment free from discrimination, harassment, bullying, violence. Equally, employees have a responsibility to act with integrity, honesty, transparency, and impartiality in their dealings with colleagues.
Okay, I think the first code of ethics is expecting to have equal contribution from the employer as well as employee. Okay, employer on one hand is expected to create an environment which is free from discrimination. There is no, employee harassment at the workplace. There is no bullying around. There is no violence. People are treated equally. Okay, if employer is expected to follow, these few principles, even employee, on the other hand, is expected to contribute by having integrity, okay, by having honesty in their work, okay, by being transparent, okay. They also have to be very impartial when they are dealing with your colleagues. So the first point, which is talking about fair, safe, and ethical environment, expects contribution from both the employer as well as the employee. Okay. It is the organization's responsibility to create positive environment. Okay. Similarly, it is the employee's responsibility to conduct themselves with high ethical standards in that positive environment. See, organization have to be, encouraging and supportive towards people who are working in their company. Definitely, there are going to be a diverse set of people, especially now that modern companies have realized that it's important to have diverse skills and diverse set of people. Okay, your company has a responsibility to encourage them, okay, to recognize their contribution, to appreciate their employees. In short, the first point, the first code of ethics, fair, safe, and ethical environment, expects equal contribution from the employer as well as the employee. I hope there is no difficulty. I hope I'm not going fast.
No, ma'am, no.
I think the second point is a bit lengthy, which I won't be able to complete in this class. Quickly, I'll summarize what we have done in this session. We've completed the remaining points of ethical issues in performance management, and then we started with code of ethics. What is code of ethics? The expected or desired behavior in the employee. Okay, just 1 minute, huh, guys. क्या हुआ? Okay, all right. So what I was saying, code of ethics. Code of ethics is, student, something called as, desired behavior in the employee. Okay, actually it is collaborative. Again, since the performance management itself is a collaborative approach. So point number one, जो बोल रहा है ना, safe, fair, and ethical environment, it requires the support from both the parties, employer as well as the employee. Okay. I think it's always a give and take. No, if you get a better, you are going to give best. The same it happens in organizations also. If your employer is giving you better, 100% you are going to give your best. I stop here and I continue in the next class. If there is any difficulty, please get back to me. And I'm so sorry for the technical issues. मेरा laptop है ना कभी-कभी बहुत late start होता है. Okay, guys, before I conclude the session, okay, I have been asked to, not just me, every department, they have to conduct parents meeting, and president sir and principal sir is going to be a part of it. I'm a bit worried because हमारे class में students ही नहीं आ रहे, तो उनके parents कैसे क्या attend करेंगे session, I don't know. So in the coming week, please inform your parents that maybe on Tuesday or on Wednesday, there will be a parents meeting. Okay, please inform them in advance so that they are available. Anything in the morning time from 10 or 11, anything at 10 o'clock or at 11 o'clock, there will be parents meeting. Okay, it's a general discussion. Okay, and in the meeting, maybe actually we want the parents to share their thoughts. Okay, and that's why this meeting is planned. I'll stop here and we meet soon in the next class. You have a happy weekend and enjoy your Sunday. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.